Sorry about that. Yeah, I had a yawn. Alright, so in this video, I was trying to say, I'm going to be doing for Memorial Day, well, one of the videos I'll be doing for Memorial Day review. I will be doing arts and crafts sort of things, like drawing and coloring, basically. And I know people like Ellen love see me do these coloring videos. So this video actually had you in mind, Ellen. Alright. So it's like I draw different things. So it's for Memorial Day, I'll have to draw different things that represent America. So first I'm just going to do like a, have it like a Memorial Day thing here. And then I'll put like the American flag, different stuff like that, So let's just start basic and then simple. I gotta be careful. If I write it too big, I won't be able to fit it and it'll look horrible. I'm not the best at box letters, but I'll try my best. I haven't done this in such a long time. I know it looks a little weird. It's gonna look kind of stupid at first, but it'll look better once I color it in. Okay. And just trying to remember how to spell it, because I'm not used to doing box letters, so I sometimes forget how to spell words. But I'm autistic, so just bear with me. I have Asperger's, but especially considering what Memorial Day is about, I don't want to screw this up. So, make sure I am right. Memorial. That looks weird, but like I said, once I color it in, it'll look less awkward. Drive me crazy with saying it over and over again. I just want to make sure that I just have to keep telling myself so I spell it right. And just day, but that's easy. There you go, Memorial. And of course, day. So I want to do something special for Memorial Day, especially since, I don't want to say celebrating. It's not like what I would call a happy day, or because celebration usually is a good thing, but obviously it's not. I mean, in a way, it's the good part of, that our country is free and people fought for it, but obviously it's to celebrate, like I said, those we lost too, to, remember those, so in a certain point, so from a certain viewpoint, not happy. I guess you could call it Remembrance Day. I guess that would be the right way of putting it, like, because you're remembering those who fought for this country. And I want to do it, because, no, he's not alive anymore, but my grandmother was my great grandfather. No, obviously not my blood, because he wasn't, part of our blood. So the blood was, because it was a little bit, cause my great grandmother basically went back, she was with somebody who originally is my great grandfather, like blood wise, but I never met him, I don't know. And I think he died before I was born, I think. But, and I got crayons too. And, he fought in World War II for the Navy, for the United States. And stuff like that. So I like to do it Memorial Day for that too. I have his badge. I have to see if I can. I'll have see if I can find it. I have it in my safe. I have to try to get it for a video. No, he's not. Unfortunately, it wasn't blood. It wasn't blood relation, but he did. He did fight for war, and there's someone she was with, and he used to watch me all the time as a kid. And unfortunately, he died in the early 2000s because he had different health. Unfortunately, he had health problems. Like I can't remember what they call it, but something. It's that one thing you get when you smoke a lot of cigarettes or cigars, because he used to smoke a lot, and they get this hole in their throat, and they have to use this machine makes it sound like they have that robotic sounding voice when they put the machine to their throat, so they could talk. I can't remember what they call it, but I remember he had that because he was a big time smoker. Unfortunately, he get surgery to do that, so he wouldn't lose his voice. At least not entirely. And I can't remember what it was called. I remember as a kid, I was kind of confused by it. As a kid, because I was a young kid. I was born in '94, so the time he died, I was like, I wasn't. Oh, let's see. Yeah, so I was like 7, maybe 8 years old when he died. Because he died in 2003 or 4, something like that. I was almost 10 years old, but not quite 10, but close to it. But unfortunately, since I was young, I wish I would have asked him about what was World War II like. I mean, because I've read history books, but to hear like from someone's opinion, like who actually experienced it, I would love that. But unfortunately, I never thought of it as a kid, so unfortunately I don't get that chance. I wish I could have too, because I wouldn't mind hearing from a soldier's perspective, like what happened, like what happened during there, what adventure, what things did you see, what was it like? Because mostly just I'm just like so curious, Cause I'm just curious, like like what those like. I mean, I know some veterans, but I never really asked like what war was like. Because I see what Call of Duty gives you an idea, but like I'm kind of curious, like is it close to accurate? Is it way off? Is it somewhere in the middle? I don't know. I've always been curious, like is war like it is in the movies and the video games, or are the movies and video games so far off from what war is really like to keep it from being too graphic or traumatizing for some people who play it, who may experience that? So maybe they tone it down because they don't want to trigger it. Have any like anxiety triggers or shell shock? Shell shock is basically PTSD. It's the original shell shock. PTSD was called shell shock during I think it was World War I or II. They called it that. I can't remember. Oh, that's usually, but usually, like I said, my family, that's usually what they call it. So to me, I was just a shell shock because that's what they said, and they grew up with calling it. So to me, that's even that's which case why is someone my age is saying that? I was like, I don't know. To me, that's just what they always called it. So to me, I just naturally grew up calling it that. All right, now I'm not the best in the world at drawing the American flag, but I'll try. Calling it's gonna be a challenge too, but so I'll give it my best shot. But like I said, I'm not the best in the world at it, so I'll try. So I'm just going to draw the traditional American flag. This looks so sloppy. Don't mind me. And I get a little upset when it's not straight and perfect. It bothers me a lot. It drives me absolutely crazy if it's not perfect. I don't mean to be a perfectionist. I like it to be perfect, and if I don't, it bothers me a lot, and it kind of upsets me a bit. So I can't. just want to draw the, stripes just to get it over with and done with, because that's simple. Look at that. It's pretty simple. Just red and white, and that's it. Just gotta be careful because it needs to be blue. So you just gotta be extra careful. Like I said, I'm not gonna be able to fit all. I would have to make it really, really big to do all 50 stars. Now, if you like this kind of thing, what I can do, if that's good, I might just do is for another arts and crafts kind of video, but American style, as I might draw the American flag, but like a really big one. What I might do too is draw different countries' flags. Now I have to use my phone because I have no idea what other countries' flags colors are and look like. Like some I could think of on the top of my head. Like the Jamaican flag, United Kingdom flag, obviously American flags. Like Italian flag, the Mexico flag, different stuff like that. The American flag's supposed to be I have to check. I think there's supposed to be a red stripe at the bottom. I have to check that. I don't want to get this wrong. Okay, yep, I checked it on Google. Yeah, it's supposed to be like that. So, we just got to, but that's simple. We just draw one more stripe. Especially on Memorial Day, I want to make sure I get that right. Especially since too, I got some subscribers who are veterans and stuff like that. So I definitely want to make sure I get this right. But of course, I just too, don't want to be right. I want to make sure it's respectful as possible of it, especially since so many people fought and died under this flag to give us the freedoms we have today and the freedoms for everybody. Just gotta darken it up a little bit so it looks accurate, not so like pinkish. I think there's more stripes than that, but it's the medium version. Like I say, if you like these American flag, like American style things, then I can do more videos like this. There we go, traditional blue. Yeah, I think it's a traditional blue or navy blue. Unfortunately, like I said, because it's small, I won't be able to fit, all 50 stars to represent all 50 states, but I'll try. Now obviously if I were to make a, big version, I easily could do it. As I'm not very good at stars, so it's gonna look a little crappy. Like I try a lot of times I try, even on practice paper, I tried writing stars. Well, drawing stars, I'm not gonna lie, it looked like crap. Like not to sound, like that and put myself down, but it didn't look good at all. It looked horrible. The stars look like, definitely not stars. I don't know, like it just didn't look good, and I don't know, I'm just not comfortable with, doing it. So because as I said, I like to make it perfect, especially the American flag, and I just, I'll feel a little embarrassed by it. Stuff like that. So, because of that reason, I don't want to, that's why I just did it like that, because that's how I've always done the stars like that, like the tribal star looking, kind of look, or whatever they call it. Because I could never, ever since I was a kid, I could never game for the stars, and I used to get made fun of a lot for it. I used to get made fun of and call all sorts of mean names, like might just do multiple colors. So I'll do gray, the pencil. There we go. I might just do it like that, yeah. Keep it basic. See, now if you guys want me to do it, now if you guys like this video, then you can let me know and I'll do this again. Or if you want me to do different colors, I could even do a rainbow colors on here and make it very colorful. Up to you. If you want, if it's not Memorial Day, I'll do it anyway. You know, I may do something like this for 4th of July too. That'd be kind of cool. Obviously, that won't be for a little bit, but you know, I could try to add more words for 4th of July. And for a little history, so yes, obviously Memorial Day is to acknowledge and show respects for those who died for our country. And because America was formed July 4th, well, not formed, but the Declaration of Independence was signed July 4th, 1776, in which John Adams, John Hancock, and many others signed the Declaration. I have a hard time saying it. Declaration. I think it's a Declaration. Yeah, of Independence. So I have a very hard time saying that word. In which, obviously, our nation was founded and created the basis on freedom. Now, unfortunately, at the time, yes, there had to be a lot of things fixed, like slavery and, sexism and all that stuff that came over here and other things, But, where George Washington and others came from England, came here, and then, first, Christopher Columbus, and all the stuff that, he did, and then eventually, when they started doing settlements, and then, the Native Americans and, the Europeans and stuff did their stuff that they did, and then started to take over, and then obviously, the British wanted to, basically, I don't know if it was they wanted to take over or control it, but I can't remember exactly. Well, again, we don't know either because we weren't born then too. But George Washington and the rest of them didn't like it that they were being controlled and stripped of their rights, gun rights, freedom of speech, etc. And so they fought for the revolution. I think it was the Revolutionary War, I believe it was called. It's been so long since I've been in school. I think that's what it was called. But anyway, they fought against very, very bad odds. Like the odds that were not in the favor of America or George Washington. But luckily, George Washington, there's one plan they had, remember, where they did a sneak attack and it came through, which gave them a very good advantage over the British to win. In which, long story short, so don't bore you. Basically, they won, and they obviously, this is the Declaration of Independence, and which obviously had, and then obviously the amendments, the First Amendment of freedom of speech, Second Amendment, which is the right to keep and bear arms, so basically your gun rights, your right to have a gun, and everything else. Now, eventually I might do a video, I might read that, so, because I know I got some people who message me like, hey, is it true that Americans have gun rights? Is it true that they have freedom of speech? Is this amendment true? They have all these amendments. I was like, oh yeah, definitely, yeah, that's true. They usually, like, from a legal standpoint, you explain to them, like, cause some people, except from other countries, never been to America, so they kind of ask me about it, out of curiosity. So what I'll probably do is, I'll read the amendments in the video, in a separate video. I'm thinking about doing that for kind of like it as part of the educational series, you know, because I know there's some who are curious and stuff like that. So I said to them, well, sure, I can do a video on it, you know, and they thought that'd be great. So that I'm working on. That I'm working on too. I'm not sure when just yet, but I know that I know sometime in the summer I want to do that. So maybe before 4th of July. If I don't do it before 4th of July, maybe I'll make that a 4th of July video. But I kind of want to do it before then. So, you know. And obviously, then of course, there's the Fifth Amendment, which is, you know, again, your right to not, basically, I can't remember the exact wording, but basically, in put in simpler terms, basically, it's your right to not say anything to the police to help incriminate yourself. It's like when you get pulled over, like when the police interrogate you for a crime, you know, they say you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be held against you in a court of law. Now, obviously, there's more to Miranda rights, obviously, but for this explanation, that's the only part I'm going to say. So basically, your right to remain silent. So yes, it's your right to either say, yes, you did this, this, and that, what they arrested you for, or you have the right to say, I want a lawyer. I'm not telling you anything. I'm not saying I'm not comfortable, you know. And then which people say, I plead the Fifth, and I want to talk to a lawyer, which is usually, because usually you want to say, you know, respectively like that. So that, cause like I said, because anything you say, you know, at least I'm not sure about other countries, but in America, yeah, you know, like I said, anything you say, you know, they'll use against you in court, hence why they say in that, you know, Miranda rights. And then, of course, I believe it was the fifth, if I'm thinking right, I think it was the 15th Amendment. But I know one of the amendments, yeah, it prevents slavery, which is obviously for, you know, the black community. When Abraham Lincoln signed it to get the South to stop doing this whole slavery nonsense, which I don't know why people did that to begin with. That's confusing to me. I never understood that to begin with. But the unfortunate part of the past, which I'm just like, I don't know, it just seems kind of strange to me. Why anyway did. I mean, even the North did too at one point, but they got rid of them. But my problem is, why do it to begin with? You know, why not just have them work for money like we do nowadays? You know, like I never understood that. Like, when it makes more sense to just say, you know, all right, come to this time, this is your job. We'll pay you X amount of money. We'll make sure to pay you enough for a livable wage. You know, I mean, it makes more sense, and it's, you know, a nicer way of doing it instead of forcing people. You know, it's just like, I don't know. But like I said, I'm not here to, you know, I'm not here to go on about politics. I can't stand politics. Like, you know, it's just stressful. You know, and plus it divides people, and I don't like it because how it divides people. Like, I like to bring people together, which is why you know, like I said, certain things I'll say politics, like maybe like history or something. But when it comes to actual like politics, I'm like, ugh. I was like, I'll pass. It's like I see it divide so many people. I see it all over social media. People arguing, they curse each other out. They say some really mean things to people, other people, and I'm just like, count me out. I don't want any part of it. Like, it's like, you know, I had to grow up in politics with my parents. It's mostly my stepfather. It was just stressful as this. I'm like, dude, why do you always gotta talk about politics? Can't you talk about something else? Like, I don't really want to hear it. I want to just, like, I'm a kid. I don't care about politics. I just want to be a kid. At the time when I was a kid. Now, obviously, as an adult, I'm just like, I'm an ASMR artist. I'm a content creator. Like, you know, I help people relax and stuff like that. It's like, I don't want to get into all that political, you know, nonsense and stuff like that. Like, I just say, you know, people vote for what they want to vote for. You know, have fun. You know, have fun. They, you know, and stuff like that. But I'm just like, I rather not get involved. It's just no, too much. Actually, what I could do is add to it is USA. Yeah, there you go. I don't have anything on the bottom, so then I could put two of the words and then the picture. That would look cool. Anyway, but yeah. In case people wonder why I don't want to do a poet, that's why. It's just, like I said, I like to bring people together, and, you know, and I see, like I said, growing up in a family, in a household that, you know, especially with some family members who got to go on and on about politics, I'm just like, just like, I'm like, people, give me a break. Just knock it off already. Like, it's annoying. Especially since, like I said, I used to be in both. I used to be somewhat curious, but I'm just like, as a teenager, but then I was just like, ugh, I can't deal with this. I mean, I got cursed out. I've had people tell me, that like, all sorts of horrible things. Some people threatened your life, like, threatened my life, and they said some absolutely cruel things. I'm just like, you guys are nuts. Like, I can't. That's like, I don't want no part of this. And I'm just like, I don't know how people do this. Like, I mean, I imagine some people like it, but I'm just like, I don't know. But I don't like arguing either. I don't like confrontations or arguing either. So for me, it's just like, this is just a bit much. Which is why Jared just, like, when it comes to it, I should just stay out of it because I don't want to, deal with it. There we go. Like I said, I'm not the best drawer in the world, so, So, like I said, it's not going to be the most magnificent, Leonardo da Vinci, perfect kind of like, picture, but, I try the best I can, Like I said, I've been practicing, to try to get, because this is like actually better when I normally would, so, like I said, I've been practicing, so it doesn't look so like, ugh, I'll probably post it on social media too, probably, and everything, but yeah, like I said, I want to do is because I have some veterans watch my channel, so I definitely want to do this for you guys too as well, but also Ellen, because she loves watching me do coloring videos too. So yeah. But anyway, so I hope you enjoyed this video. Remember, like it, comment, subscribe. And I do got Sunday service video upload. I gotta edit the video, so it's a little bit late, but I don't want to miss it. So Alright, so I hope you enjoyed this video. And for those who served, we want to thank you for serving our country. We are forever grateful. And those who have died and everything else, I thank you for your service and for what you gave to this country. And I pray that that God will come to you and give you healing, so that your family can have healing in their time of need, or if there's any soldiers who